Hello, everyone. I think we're at campaign discussion video number, we're just going to call it number 10, and we're going to talk about Social Security. I did 3 or 4 live videos on Facebook this morning on this, and I was going to let it go, but now I can't because while having lunch, I've watched way too many of these panels on C-SPAN, but I guess it's a good thing that I have over the last 40 years, because you see all the people that make up the many, many layers of Washington, D.C., and what that culture is like there, and how these people operate. So her name is Maya Cummings, and she is the founder, president, and CEO of Global Policy Solutions. Well, that's impressive. So, and she's been involved in Social Security policy for 26 years. She's worked on this member of Congress's staff. She's been a chief of staff. She worked on congressional committees. She's worked at this think tank and that think tank. She went through her entire thing. And by the way, she's at a research conference right now in D.C. and she was highlighting a paper that was written on Social Security, certain aspects of it, by a lady that she knows. And she goes, "Is so and so here in the audience right now?" So just to let you know how these audiences are made up and all these people. So, I mean, you have to have the kind of lifestyle and be in that orbit of the establishment within DC, casually referred to as the DC cocktail circuit, where you go to these conferences and you're invited to these conferences and all that. So chances are you and I will not be going to these conferences. So anyway, so she's what we'll just refer to as a heavyweight on Social Security. Okay, well, since she's the big kahuna on Social Security, why is it going under? Okay. So, and she talked about the many demographics that are affected by this, that, and the other thing, and she went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay. And a lot of word salad and tossing out a lot of stats and figures. Okay. So, here I go. For everybody that thinks that Social Security, and here it is, okay, don't be scared. Social Security does have to be reformed. And at the end of the day, it has to be facilitated and extended into and transitioned into, that's the word I'm looking for, transitioned into individual, private-based savings accounts that are going to be like 401ks, where you have control over them, okay, if you're going to be paying in this FICA money. So, I know everybody's scared. Chris, you're getting rid of Social Security. No, everybody calm down, take a deep breath, and listen, okay? It has to be reformed now. So, it hasn't been done over 40 years. It hasn't even been done in the 26 years that Maya Cummings has been involved in Social Security, and we know Social Security has done one thing: it's given her a career. So, imagine a government program that is so large that people make their entire careers just working on the staff and doing research, writing books and writing papers and talking about it. Because that's been her career, okay? But the problem's still there. So, okay. So, in the rest of this video, I'm just going to go out there and just put this right out there. This is a thumbnail impression of how we go about stabilizing Social Security and then transitioning into what it needs to be, which is your individually operated and maintained and managed private savings accounts and everything that has to go into that. And there's plenty of people around. There's plenty of employees and staff already to manage this transition. Plenty of them. Okay. Of course, they're worried that half their jobs will be eliminated. Well, probably more than half. So everybody that's made their entire career off of Social Security, guess what? Some of their jobs are going to be eliminated. Hey, everybody knows my situation. I take this very seriously. I know how this affects people, okay? Daily. I get it. All right, it is 2024. Let's start in 2026. Starting in 2026, to receive Social Security benefits, the age is bumped up to 66. And then over a 5-year period from 2026 to 2030, we bump it up 1 year per year, okay? So we're stabilizing that part of it. We're paying, there's 3 payers to 1 recipient right now. That's going to change. It's going to change dramatically because the baby boomers generation is retiring and they are of Social Security age. And in fact, they're already drawing Social Security benefits. So now, for those of you who think that we can't touch Social Security, leave it alone. Don't do anything. I want mine. All that. Okay. The generation that is out there right now, 1 to 18 years of age, it's the largest generation ever across the world. And here, okay? Largest number of people ever. Things do have to change. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that one thing with raising it up to the age 70 between 2026 and 2030. Okay? And considering how long lifespans are and like that right now, that's what it is. All right. This directly, all this stuff is so huge. It's all directly tied together. Federal government spending needs to be capped at an increase of 1% per year. So if the current federal government budget is $7 trillion, next year you get $7.07 trillion. That's the way it works. And it all works together. We need to eliminate all tax loopholes out there across the board, all of them. The 88,000 page tax code is too long, especially for a free market system and a free society. Let's get it down to 44,000 pages. Can we do that? Can we agree that 44,000 pages is long enough for any tax code? Don't laugh, I'm being serious. Hey, real quick, make sure you go to my website. The link is in the description below. Okay. The Economic Democracy Act. You have to read it on my website. We need to implement the second economic layer of widespread capital ownership. Okay, non-transferable shares that every child, woman, and man, woman, and child, woman, child, man, let's say it every way so that everybody's happy, okay, has ownership in how we go about capital funding, capital homesteading, and large-scale ownership. This is a larger version, to put it very simply, of ESOPs that were implemented in the 70s. Employee stock ownership programs, ESOPs, look them up, okay? This would be applied on a more wide, on a general economic basis. So, allowing for passive income and by a time of retirement, going at a 0% GDP, $10,000 passive income, and then the current numbers are $686,000 at time of retirement. Let's call it 65. All right. Now, please go to my website, www.leadership1776.com, and on briefly what I said about the Economic Democracy Act and the second economic layer that benefits all people, every individual. Please go there and read the 150 pages of details and all the links for everything that I just talked about briefly there. I give so much tremendous amount of information as a candidate for Congress. All right. Social Security needs to be means tested. There's fraud and there's waste out there. Every federal government program has fraud. Every federal government program has waste. The Government Accountability Office, I don't care if it takes 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, the entire program needs to be means tested. As I talked about in my live videos this morning, you can go into the Social Security website and go into the actuarial tables. Again, I joked this morning. I'm one of 14 people in America that have actually done that. But I think as a candidate for Congress, you should be researching these stuff so you understand what the actuarial tables of the Social Security Administration are, and exactly where we stand with this stuff. So you can see the level of Treasury bonds that have been purchased and the dates of maturity on them and when they will be sold off. That's all Treasury bonds in there. Okay, there is no cash in the Social Security Trust Fund. There's no cash. It is Treasury bonds that are sold off at date of maturity. Look it up. Understand the terminology I'm using. Okay. Those are Treasury bonds in there that are being held by the Social Security Administration. It is not a pile of cash. It is not a pile of cash. We are very much in as a pay-as-you-go situation. And since we're running $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion deficits, there is no pile of cash there. All right, so that is briefly the smallest thumbnail impression that I can make. Okay. But I've talked about it. Okay. And I'll always talk about Social Security. I'm not scared about the topic and all that. I know most people are scared to even talk about it because immediately think, oh, you just want to take away people's Social Security. No. I just know what it is right now and where it needs to go. And this stuff should have been done 20 or 30 years ago, but it wasn't. George W. Bush won re-election in 2004. Oh, the big brain on Maya Cummings, and hey, she can call me out too. She can email me or get back at me if she wants. She goes, remember when George W. Bush was re-elected? She goes, what was that? 2002, 2003. She goes, thank you, 2004. Oh, okay, lady. You're an intellectual heavyweight on Social Security. You don't even know when we have general presidential elections. It's every 4 years. It's 2004 when he's reelected, and she chuckled and laughed at he talked about privatizing Social Security and laughed about it and she goes, no, we had to kind of make sure that everybody understood that that was a non-starter and everything, and the number of people would hurt and all that. No. What is hurting people right now is the current system. Okay? It is not sustainable. It is broke. There is no pile of cash. There is no pile of cash. Okay, I've said that 15 times now. Hopefully it's sunk in. All right, so that's how I would start to go about it as a leader in Congress if I was there. That's how I would start. It all works together. You've got to bring government spending under control. 1% increase, okay, and then the 5-year advancement to age 70 over 5 years of for retirement benefits, and we can get into all the subgroups too of disability and all that, but we'll have that. We can have that conversation, as they all say. So yeah, okay. I think that's pretty good. Please go to my website, www.leadership1776.com. The link is right below. The Economic Democracy Act, all that information is 150 pages long. Everybody, all people across America of all political ideologies are saying, we want candidates who will talk seriously and give us detailed plans and guidelines. We don't want to hear just empty platitudes. We don't want just talking points. We want details. Give us details. Well, on Chris Dardzinski's website, there are plenty of details. There's details upon details. And even on the stuff that I just outlined, there are specific details. Very, very specific details. Okay, everybody. Have a good day.